Oh shit. Yo, check this out.
What I'm walking into right now is a gaming themed capsule pod hotel, and it's unlike any hotel you've ever seen. Not only does it look incredibly cool, but it
fucking
also has
gaming
features that I've
capsule
never
hotel?
seen in any other hotel, like a dedicated gaming zone, a futuristic smart bathroom, and one of the most technologically advanced beds I've ever slept in. But this isn't the only gaming themed capsule pod hotel. There's actually 4 more based around Europe, and I'm gonna fly out and test them all to find the best one. We'll go from cheapest to expensive and give them a rating out of 20 based on 4
Ain't no way,
factors:
bro.
appearance, stuff to do, comfort, and lastly, value for money. So without further ado, let's fly out to the first and cheapest gaming capsule pod hotel, which is in France. Now, to get to the first hotel, I had to travel out to the middle of nowhere. The town that the hotel was based in was completely empty, and this joyful hotel listing looked a bit strange to be in a town like this. But then, this is it. It looks like the outside of a prison courtyard. You would not think that this place is a gaming hotel, but it is. It's called Le Gaming, which translates to The Gaming. The gaming what? Despite its appearances, it only does cost $28 a night to stay in a capsule pod bed here, so let's go and try it out. Oh my, oh my god.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of looks sick though.
So much to unpack here.
So being that
It's
place is
time
crazy.
for a room tour. We've got 4 Mario Kart themed capsule pods, all with their own lights and plug sockets, and we've got 4 of these. So if you have friends, unlike me, they can stay here as well. We have a ginormous Nintendo Switch themed TV, but no Nintendo Switch. There's only a
that's
PS4.
kinda cool, though.
Next to
Ain't
the
gonna lie.
TV though, we have the dining area, which is just bottles of water and kitchen roll. The essentials, really. This place also comes with an entire kitchen.
bro.
You even have your own private bathroom. The bathroom is a little bit weird because they've tried to keep up the aesthetic of the gaming room, but it just doesn't go. Like, why have they got a yellow toilet roll holder in this clearly marble bathroom? The room is completely filled to the brim with video games' most iconic characters. We got Lara Croft, we got Pikachu, we got Sonic, we got Link, we got Mario, we got Pac-Man, we got Donkey Kong. We've also got Mbappe. Not too sure what he's doing here, but we got Mbappe. Initially, I thought the room looked pretty cool, but then I started to notice its little quirks.
The Mario pipe is a paint bucket. There is LED lights, there are some, but don't work. There also seems to be a Christmas tree. All the games are really outdated. Like, you've got FIFA 22 here. Sorry, FIFA 19, that's a bit of a catfish. The room, it's in a really weird position.
That's crazy.
To be in. Really cool.
But also really average.
Again though, £27 a night. Like, it's not that bad. Not that bad.
I thought it would be a good idea to test out the games that they had here, but there's only so many hours of Warzone that I can play before I get bored. So I took it upon myself to walk around the town to see if there was something that I could do. Yeah, this town is dead. There is nothing going on here, nothing to do. There's literally one shop in the entire village.
But I guess what we do have to test now is the comfort. So I'm gonna get into one of these beds and we'll see how my night goes.
Guys, I've just woken up in the middle of the night because I've realised
I feel like those beds, they can be comfortable, but after a while, you ain't gonna like it.
Mario has 6 fingers.
I don't know.
What's all that about?
After I woke up, I realised that I wanted to charge my phone, but couldn't because the charging ports in my pod didn't work. However, at least there was a built-in alarm clock.
I've been woken up by church bells. I needed to get up anyway, to be honest, but it's a nice little built-in alarm clock the town has.
So at 6 AM, I left the hotel and submitted my review. My night at Le Gaming was very interesting. For appearances, it was really cool looking, but there was no LED lights and there was just a load of things that were just off. Like there was holes in the walls. The Mario tubes weren't decorated properly. So yeah, for appearance, I'm gonna give it a 3. Things to do, however, there is quite a bit. Like you've got a big TV, you got games consoles, but all the games are out of date. And in the town, there is nothing to do. Like you're in the middle of nowhere. Like there is genuinely nothing to do here. So for things to do, I'm gonna have to give it a 2. For comfort though, it actually surprised me. Like it wasn't the worst night's sleep of my life. So I'm gonna give it a 3. I actually think it was quite good value for money. Like you get all of this stuff for about $28 a night. So for value for money, I'm gonna give it a solid 4. Honestly, not a bad score for our first hotel on the list. But now we've got to get on to our next hotel. So let's head there. And we've got 4 more hotels to check out, and they're only going to get crazier and crazier as we go on throughout the video. But to get the next one, I had to take the Eurostar all the way to Amsterdam. Because the next hotel we're staying in is the Arcade Hotel. Now, I actually have stayed here before in this video here, which got quite a few views, you could say. But I never got to try out their capsule pod room. One of these beds will cost you around about $38 a night. So let's go and check it out. But to firstly get into the room, you've got to go in one of the coolest lifts I think I've ever seen in my life. Like seriously, this thing is filled from top to bottom with Magic the Gathering cards. Okay, 108, this is our room. Let's head in. Oh, yeah, this looks sick. Look at this, we've got the 4 bunk pods over here. And look at this, we got the whole gaming area here as well. Look at this, we've got an Xbox One, we've got a PlayStation 1, and we've also got a GameCube. We've got here 14 controllers. Just in case we lose one, we have got plenty of spares. LED bathroom. Oh my God, this is crazy. If we want it red, we can have it red. If we want it blue, we can have it blue. Now, the reason why there's so many retro devices in this room is because the whole hotel is retro themed. If we go down to the hotel lobby, we have loads of retro arcade machines, pop culture artwork, and overall there's just loads of little geeky things around the hotel. There's obviously a space to play all the newest consoles as well as an entire PC room and an entire outdoor area with even more games. I know that I've already stayed in this hotel before, but honestly, this is one of the coolest hotels I've ever stayed in. The amount of games that you can just play at will is incredible. They also have pretty much every single game in existence if you want to take one back to your room.
My boy got Black Ops 2.
Spent the entire night playing.
Nah,
I'm
good
only
choice.
here for one night, but honestly, there are so many things to do here.
Good
You'll
fucking
never
choice.
Get bored. But now it's time to test out the sleeping pod. There's not a lot that you get in this little bunk pod, but it's the room that matters because I've had a lot of fun today. Other than that, though, I'm gonna test this bed out, and I'll see you in the morning. That was a nice sleep. Now let's go on to the ratings of this place. For appearances, I'm gonna give it a 3. Like it has some really cool features, but there's also parts where I feel like it didn't look as cool. The beds were comfy, like incredibly comfy. I'm gonna give it a 5. Stuff to do, I'm gonna have to give it a 5. There's literally so much to do in the hotel. You will be occupied for your entire stay here. Value for money though, I'm gonna give it a 4. I would have given it a 5 because it is insanely cheap. £30 for a bed is incredibly good with the amount of stuff that you get to do. However, for it to be that price, you do have to bring 3 other friends with you. So for that price, it's gonna be a 4. This is my second time here and I definitely would come again. But now we've got to go to our next hotel. With a score of 16 out of 20, that currently makes the Arcade Hotel the best gaming hotel so far. But the next one I'm visiting is probably one of the craziest hotels I've ever seen. And to get to this one, I had to fly all the way down to Spain. Now, taking all these different flights with a cameraman can get incredibly expensive. But luckily, this video has been made possible by Odoo, who are sponsoring this video. Odoo is an all-in-one management software that helps businesses of any size with their daily management, using a wide range of applications like accounting, project management, and even This is our next hotel, people, and this is the one that I'm most excited about. Future Hotel. The pictures of this place online look absolutely incredible, and it's only $57 a night to stay here. So let's find out
beyond this time.
It's worth it. As soon as I entered, there was so much to look at, but before I did anything, I had to check out my room. Come through here.
Let me respawn in Rome, please. Yes.
Our city currently has a population of 9. A farmer?
in my life. Let's do a room tour. So in front of us, we have this incredible TV. You've got things like Netflix, DAZN, Twitch, Disney Plus. You've got games you can play on here. We've got a snack bar down here. We've got some lights, USB hub to charge your phone, air conditioning with this little dial right here, a little tray to keep your amenities. You even have a literal alarm clock built into the wall and 2 really comfy pillows. So now that you've seen my room, let's explore the rest of the hotel.
Now I was going to start off by going into the gaming zone as it does look incredible.
We're going to check it out later because I want to show you guys the most crazy hotel bathroom I've ever seen in my entire life. A lot of this hotel is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, but you'll see why in a second. Just starting off right here, we've got a smart mirror. It can display YouTube videos, so I can watch my favorite YouTuber while I wash my hands on this smart water tap. You can literally change the temperature of the water via touchscreen. That's absolutely insane. But over here, we have...
What the?
You did see that just come up by itself because this toilet...
Yeah.
It's a smart toilet. You can heat the seat up, you can change the temperature of the water so you can have hot water washing your bum. I haven't even tried out the shower yet, but it looks so cool. Like, look at all these different water jet blasters.
This hotel has definitely got the best bathroom I've ever seen. But will it have the best gaming zone?
Let's go and have a look at this gaming section then. I want to see what sort of PCs they have here. Okay, not the most comfortable thing I've ever sat on, but not terrible. Okay, the keyboard is... fairly cheap keyboard, I can't lie. The mouse feels very good though.
The PCs weren't amazing, but they also weren't terrible. I'll leave the specs on the screen for anyone who cares about them.
And on this side of the room, we've got 2 PlayStation 5 setups. They all seem to have Black Ops 6, Fortnite, Minecraft, Fall Guys installed. We've also got a futuristic foosball table, snooker table with LED lights underneath. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different vending machines, and one of them sells burgers. And we actually have an entire kitchen. We got microwaves for pizzas and a mini fridge.
So before I spent a night in my capsule pod, I bought a drink, did some gaming, and bought some food to take back to my capsule pod.
Ain't no way you played Fortnite over there at that hotel. That's crazy. And he ordered KFC.
There's nowhere to eat.
Yo,
this,
who
but
wouldn't
this
stay at
one
this
right
hotel
here,
though? This,
it's not
I
a
feel like
window
this
cover.
pod is beyond its
It's
time.
actually a table.
It feels like a little bit of like a mini apartment. I've got like a mirror, a safe, a clock. I've got a table if I ever need to do like work or eat food, TV. And I've got a bed obviously. And for only £45 a night, this isn't bad at all for what you get.
However, it was now getting late.
So it is currently nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna set an alarm for tomorrow morning. Gonna put the airflow on maximum, turn off the light, and I'll see you guys in the morning.
So that was Future Hotel. What an experience that was. So appearance wise, I'm gonna have to give it a 5. It looked incredible. This was the best capsule hotel I've ever seen. Stuff to do, I'm gonna have to give it a 5. You have got so many options for things to do. Like, never have I imagined that I'd be able to watch my own YouTube videos in a mirror while brushing my teeth. Obviously it has one of them magic toilets as well, so that raises it. For comfort though, I'm giving it a 3. The bed was comfy, but the bed sheet was very thin. It was like a piece of tissue paper. And overall value for money,
Although it has been the most expensive at $57 a night,
it has easily been the best. I'm gonna give it a 5. You get so much value for money here. And now with this hotel taking the top spot, we can now move on
to our next hotel.
With Google Play Games, you can play unlocked. Unlock.
And to get to that, we had to go all the way back to Amsterdam, as this is our next hotel. It's called City Hub. It's $60 a night, and it's not really a gaming hotel. It's more of a very high-tech capsule pod. So let's just do a quick fire round. As you walk into your capsule pod, you're met with a load of LED lights, a place to hang your clothes, and a lot of other cool technical features, like inbuilt speakers that you can connect your phone up to. Obviously, we've got the usual charging ports, and there is a place for you to hang your phone if you want to watch a video or a movie, although it is quite far away. You've got some little windows, a big comfy bed, and in the hotel lounge, there's some sort of ping pong table, although I wouldn't call this ping pong. Anyways, it was time to get to sleep and test out the bed so that I could leave my quick fire review.
Good morning.
City Hub was actually pretty good.
For appearances, I'm going to give it a 3. It was pretty clean, but there wasn't much else to it. However, the bed was massive, and I had an incredibly good night's sleep, so I'm going to give it a 5 for comfort. In terms of stuff to do, there's not that much other than playing on this questionable ping pong table. However, you are in the middle of Amsterdam, so I was able to go to like a zombie VR place, so I'll give it a 2 for that.
It's cheaper than a normal hotel room, but also it is still quite expensive. So for value for money, I'm going to give it a 3. So even though it's not specifically a gaming hotel, you can still get a bit of gaming done. And you know what? That score isn't too bad. So let's move on to the next hotel.
Currently, Future Hotel in Malaga is in the lead with a score of 18 out of 20. But let's see where we're heading next. Why is that plane going down south? Don't tell me. Do not tell me we're going back to Spain. Yeah, so we're back in Spain because there is another Future Hotel location which is even more expensive and apparently has a load of new features that we didn't see in the last one. The price for a pod here is $77 a night, so let's see if it's better than the last one. Yeah, it turns out it's exactly the same, or so I thought, as later in the night everything would change. But we'll get onto that later. Let's do a quick hotel tour.
Bro,
so just like the other hotel, there is a games room. However, this one's different in its own unique way.
It's quite smaller than the last Future Hotel we stayed in, but the one thing I'm already noticing about this gaming setup is how much everything's falling apart. Look at that. Literally, if you pull that off a bit more, that's broke. Surely they all can't be quickie.
Yo.
Literally missing a wheel, look at that. Okay, the chairs are pretty bad, but maybe the PCs can make up for it. This is probably like the most dodgy monitor ever. But out of all things, the PS5 is chained up. Like, it is chained up. You could come in here and just take what you please, but the PS5, you ain't having that.
Okay, the gaming room isn't that good, but surely this hotel has some redeeming qualities. Like, I don't know, an entire spa that you have access to. Which initially looks really cool. I was having a blast for about 5 minutes.
If you're on your own, it's boring.
I also noticed a camera in here that was conveniently pointed towards the wall, but it looked like it was on a swivel mount. Is that legal? I don't know. Future Hotel, I think you should remove this. But by far, the most heartbreaking thing that I found out was that these beds are not $77 a night. They're only $27. $50 of the package that I bought was for 1 hour at the spa garden. That is outrageous.
So if 2 friends wanted to stay here, it's £100 for an hour.
And it also technically means that this is actually the cheapest gaming capsule pod hotel at just $27 a night. I guess we'll find out as to why it's so cheap. In the meantime, I went to go play some games in the gaming room, but
we've only been playing for about 15 minutes and it's already dead. However, I think there are some really cool gaming cafes around Granada, so we're gonna head to one of them.
it turns out that only a 15-minute walk away, there was a gaming cafe with some crazy setups. This place had everything. Highly spec PCs, great Wi-Fi, and it wasn't even expensive. Like, it only cost $2 to play for a good couple of hours here. So I decided to stay here for a bit. I mean, anything's better than going back to whatever this is. But
if I hadn't heard about the Capital One shopping ad-block extension, I'd have thrown away my laptop and moved to the desert. Somewhere with...
But eventually, day turned to night, and I was about to find out why this place was the cheapest of them all. Now, for starters, unlike the other hotel, this one doesn't feature a snacks tray or somewhere to put your wallet. However, it does have a half-broken ceiling that comes up if you just push on it. And you know what? I thought that was going to be it. I thought that would be everything that would be wrong with this place. But after a couple of hours of sleeping in this pod, I was awoken by a strange noise, which turned out to be... yeah, the ceiling was leaking. I was getting a bit worried about the structural integrity of my capsule pod at this point, but I thought, you know what, since I'm awake, I might as well take my mind off it by playing some of the in-house capsule pod games. Unfortunately, the controller that comes with your pod has massive stick drift. And when I mean stick drift, I mean you push the joystick to one side and it just
ain't
stays
no
there.
way, bro.
Honestly, is there not anything in this hotel that isn't breaking or falling apart? And to make things even worse, there wasn't any magic toilet. The smart mirrors weren't even working either. I'd had enough, so I tried to get a few more hours of sleep, but I ended up leaving early.
So Future Hotel Granada was not a pleasant stay. As you can tell, I've decided to leave this one extra early because It was not a good night. For looks, I'm going to give it a 3 because it still looks pretty cool. Stuff to do though, there is quite a bit to do. Even though the gaming zone is quite bad. You know, you are in the center of Granada. You know, there's gaming cafes, loads of stuff to do. So for that reason, I am going to have to give it a 4. Comfort, I actually am going to give this one a 1. Genuinely, this was one of the worst night's sleeps I've had this week. And for value for money, I cannot believe this one was more expensive than the Malaga one. So I'm going to give it a 2.
And with that, these are the final scores of all the hotels that we've visited throughout this video. Congratulations to Future Hotel for being the best and worst gaming capsule pod hotel. If you ever go to one of these, choose wisely on which one you go to. Believe it or not, I've actually visited a gaming hotel that is even worse than this Future Hotel one. So if you'd like to see that, you can click this video here.
Come on, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's just kind of crazy though. I'm gonna be honest, cause I ain't know, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't know they make like no hotels like that or whatever. You'll think somebody, you know, like how would they keep their property or whatever, or you know, without the person stealing or whatever, some shit. Like you never know, bro. And I ain't even know they make, you know, hotels like that. I tried 5 levels of winter theme parks. High